cross in the mirror. That's pretty. Look at all the pretty lights. This is like being on Broadway and the kiddies on TV. So the thumbnail is very important. Know your worth. Doesn't matter where you work in the matrix. It's knowing your worth as a earth angel and light worker and all of the above, what we are in the other dimensions. So a shout out to Tasha and her co-workers, and hi Irene. And I also want to say hi to Gary and James that I talked to yesterday from my neighborhood. And happy sanding. He bought some sanders. He's an artist, James is, and he bought some sanders. So wonderful. Yeah, really important to know your worth. Okay, we're going to be talking about Four of Pentacles energy. And we'll go in the other room and I'll show you the card. I picked one card from the Light Seers for the overall energy. And the download of knowing your worth came from that particular card. And I'll show it to you when we go out there. In Astro, I was told to download, tell you about a download I had of when we're working as a park ranger or we're working as a waitress, which I always am in all my realms. I seem to be the one running around like a waitress. We're doing that job, okay, yes, to get a paycheck because the matrix has us do that, okay? But in every single job, you have to be like your earth angel self, your light worker self, being authentic and helping others and being generous. Now, I got a hug from Grumpy. If you guys know who Grumpy is, he's a customer I had at a restaurant, and when his wife died, I brought him over a box of food, and he called me an earth angel, and that was the first time I was called that. He gave me a t-shirt which I'll be wearing probably next week, and I'll show it to you. It says something like, I'm just visiting, my real home is heaven. He's given me hats that say like Cloud 7. He knew who I was. He was somebody that knew who I was through the uniform, through the makeup, through the falsity of the matrix. And he was the only one that came out here and visited me when I moved 2,000 miles away, him and his son Keith. And he passed on, and last night I got to visit with him and give him a great big hug and tell him thank you for all that he did here and all that he does there. So that's the kind of energy going on right now, is just being really grateful for the people that help you in your life, your pets, just gratitude on steroids. That would have been a good title, huh? Gratitude on steroids. That's the kind of energy that's going on right now. So know your worth. Know your worth, okay? Now, I have Tasha and Irene in the live. And Tasha, you'll have to check out that thumbnail because you are my star. Okay, Wilbur's kind of jealous. He just heard that, but he'll get over it. Okay, so let's go out and talk about the Four of Pentacles. Okay? All right. Let's go out and talk about the Four of Pentacles. They also showed me one of my videos where I'm walking in the dark like this, and then they said to point that out, that all of a sudden we're in light. We walk through the valley of darkness, but we are in the light. Okay, we've got Matchbox 20 playing, for those of you that like to look up music. Okay, so this is the Four of Pentacles energy here. Okay, I told you I'm making my own cards, Miss Mystic. Okay, So it's success, stability, and savings. Okay. And you're saving because you want to be able to help others also. You want to be generous. You want to accept who you are, be and accept your worth. You want to be full of gratitude and helping others. And again, the whole point here is to help others is your earth angel light worker side, helping them to advance in their spirituality. Not so much, giving them money per se, as in like when we used to give panhandlers money. I was a panhandler. I mean, my husband was a panhandler in our early days when we were homeless. And so I do understand the whole thing. I refused to get help, and we ended up staying out there for a few years. So then they extradited me from Seattle to Wisconsin and made me get help for my alcohol addiction. Okay, so I understand homelessness totally, but handing somebody 20 bucks, $5, whatever it is great. Okay, but then I also would give them a Bible, or I also would tell them where the AA meeting was. I'd give them my card. I'd go beyond just giving them the $5. Okay, so generous in helping others, Four of Pentacle energy. Now here's the card. And you notice how she's holding on to her purse string. She's she's kind of being miserly in a way. And we don't want to be like that. We want to be free flowing. Okay. And the Four of Pentacles, I want to read about it because this is the energy today, and this is the easiest way to explain it. It says, you're building your life coin by coin, and you've reached a moment of stability. Getting here signifies an interval when you can rest, reevaluate, and take stock. Now, that was yesterday's energy where I said to relax. Okay. I also put it down as the Three of Pentacles energy yesterday. I don't see it right now, but we'll look at it in a minute. And the Three of Pentacles was in reverse. No, it was the Three of Wands, wasn't it? It was the Three of Wands was in reverse. And that said that the disappointment was over. We could relax. We had to wait for the cake to come out of the oven. Okay? So that's what we're doing right now. We're resting. We're trying to take the hard work and make it, get our rewards, right? So it says, so we're kind of resting, we're reevaluating, we're taking stock. Likely you are being reminded to double check those foundations and to save some money for a rainy day. So in one hand, we're being generous, right? We're giving $5 to the homeless man because we can't keep everything. But then God rewards you, and he gives you a bonus at work and gives you $10 instead of the 5 that you had. Okay? So it's kind of like being generous in one hand, but yet being miserly in the other. If you can catch my drift and put them together. Okay, so we don't give the guy $20 and just go off and to Wonderland. We give him $5 and a Bible and a phone number to an AA group, or etc. So if you can understand how to be generous and miserly at the same time, then you're getting this message. Okay, so then it says continue toward your goal without over focusing on your possessions, and let go of any jealousy derived from another person's life. Now, I had to correct Susan the other day because she said she was jealous of me for something I did or said, and we don't want any kind of jealousy or any of the seven deadly sins, greed, lust, sloth. We don't want any of our seven deadly sins to overtake us. So everybody is unique. Everybody is different. God will provide. If you ever read the story of Job in the Bible, it's kind of that kind of energy where he just kept being, God is number one, and that's all that matters. Whatever is done to me, God is allowing it. And I love that attitude, because I told my neighbor yesterday, shout out to Tony too. I talked with Tony for about a half hour, and his question that he proposed to me was, God is in charge of my life. If he allows it to enter my life, I will be open to it. But if he doesn't allow it in my life, him and St. Michael, if they don't allow it in my life, then that's it. I don't go chasing it. Okay? So I'm totally open to anything God gives me. Okay, so now we have two. Negative feelings around abundance will breed energy blockages big enough to hold back even the most magical trajectories. Okay, did you hear that? Negative feelings around abundance will breed energy blockages big enough to hold back even the most magical trajectories. And that again is what I'm trying to say about you can't go too far one way or the other. Okay, so any negative feelings, oh, I'm jealous of you, oh, I wish I had your hair, oh, I wish I had your eyes, oh, I wish I had your body, all them things are actually negative feelings. Oh, I'm not worthy. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I don't have any money. Oh, I can't work. Just anything negative. You're immediately putting up a wall. See everything coming at you? It's coming at you, and you immediately put up a wall when you're negative. So you got to stay positive. Okay? Those walls are real. They're calling it energy blockages. Okay, so the tighter you have a hold on things, the more you block yourself from stepping into the flow of wealth and happiness and helpfulness. So when I said those walls are real, they are so real. Okay, so in order to break down the barriers of the walls, positive in everything. So anything that happens to you, if you can look at it like, if God allows it in, I'm going through it. If God allows it in, I'm going through it. And my hand is in his. Okay? If we take God with us wherever we go, when we get there, we'll have everything we need. Now, I know I'm talking a lot on Four of Pentacles, but it's just a really, really intense energy today. So I'm just going to continue on, and then we'll pick a few more cards. If a scarcity mindset is haunting your actions, ask yourself if you are looking down on others based on how much money they have or don't have. Actively save and give the world, and focus on feeling excited and expansive. I love them words, excited and expansive. So I live an abundant life and I have more than I need. And that's in any circumstance. Somebody wrote me and said they were homeless, and they were homeless for a long time. And I understand that. I told you I was homeless for about 4 years, I think. But the point is that somebody always has it worse. We used to sit behind a liquor store in Newport Beach, and we were drinking our 40s, and a guy died right there. And he had been in and out of the hospital, but he stayed living behind that dumpster, that liquor store. And my significant other said, oh my God, I'll quit before I get that bad. that's the kind of mentality that we had, you know. Oh, I'll quit before I get that bad. Well, good thing he did quit before he got that bad. And he stayed sober till he died. He died sober, and I think he had like 26 years sober. But the point is that that's our mentality. Our mentality is somebody's always got it worse than us. And that's a good mentality when you're thinking about being grateful. It's a bad mentality when you're thinking about getting sober. Okay, now as I shuffled the cards, that was the overall energy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top 11 cards and we're just going to go through them real quick. Okay, so we've got the Page of Pentacles. Now, if we had the Four of Pentacles energy, the page is the action. The page is underneath the Knight, the Queen, and the King, right? The page is the one that gets busy and does the work. Then we have the Four of Swords, but know when to fold them, know when to hold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Kenny Rogers, the gambler. That's what I'm getting off of that card. The King of Swords, and only about truth. You don't want to be out there spreading nonsense. So you know, be careful what you tell people. Be careful, you know, you can't back nothing up these days, okay? Like I can't say to you, I'm on all the dimensions. That's why I'm Rebecca Booby 11, because I'm on 12 dimensions all at one time. I can't really just pull out this folder and say, here's the proof, you know? So it's really hard to live and talk in this world because everything's so spiritual. So people have to just catch our drifts. People just have to believe. People have to have that. I remember they used to say in AA, don't leave before the miracle happens. You know, trust in God, you know, the one I just said, if you take God with you, when you get there, you'll have everything you need. All these cliches, you know, of how to do it, but the belief has to come from in here. Okay? So the King of Swords, stay in the King of Swords attitude of truth. Walk away from the past and learn from it. Anything from your past, walk away. Now, somebody asked me if people from the past came back into my life, would I accept them? Well, my daughter's a great example. I haven't seen my daughter. She's on the thumbnail. I haven't seen my daughter in 17 years, probably. Let's just say give or take, all right? Would I accept her if she came back in my life? Absolutely. I'm totally open until proven different. So if she's negative from the dark side, any of those categories, then I just block people and I just delete them from my contact list and I just don't accept their messages. You don't have to reply to every person that writes you. Okay? All you have to do is pick and choose, you know. I didn't have to call her back when she called me. She actually texted me and asked if I was in contact with my daughter or if I wanted to be or if I knew my daughter or some kind of text like that. And I just said, if you want the answers, then whoever you are, then call me. And she called me and we talked. And she's not negative and she is my daughter and I love her and she was in a controlling situation. And if you watch my regression under the videos tab, you will know exactly why my daughter and me got reconnected, because our higher selves connected. And it's an awesome regression. It's about an hour long and I wish you'd all would watch it. It's called Flying Pyramids of Egypt. So we're walking away from our past, but yet if one of our past people or assignments or whatever word you want to put on it comes back into our life, we will accept it, because remember what I said, if God puts it in front of you, go through it. But if he doesn't put it in front of you, don't go chasing it. We ain't chasing. But here's a chasing card, and what's he chasing after besides a motorcycle? Knight of Swords is truth. He's running after truth. Okay? So, that's what we're running after. We're not running after pipe dreams anymore, or falsities, or the matrix. We're out of the matrix, but we're still living 3D and 4D together. We're living them both, right? And then we're 5D and higher, say at night, right? So we're running after the truth, just like he's running for that motorcycle. Now, they're telling me a motorcycle might be specific. I have a lot of motorcycles that go by my house. And in California, it's probably really cool to ride motorcycles because of the fact that it's hot out all the time. Versus Wisconsin, say, only has a few months of good weather. But boy, the cars here, there's a lot of motorcycle accidents. So I'm always praying for the motorcyclists. I love motorcycles. I grew up with a Triumph, and when I was a kid, and my dad had a Harley in the garage, an old Indian, and my first husband had a Suzuki. And then my last partner and I decided when we got sober, we were not going to do motorcycles. We were not going to do them. And we just decided that from a lot of past partying and going too fast on motorcycles. And we just had that feeling to stay away from them. So we did. But so it's been a long time since I've been on the back of a bike. But who knows what the future holds. Okay, so then we're going to just pick a couple more here. We've got the Queen of Swords. Now, you just had the knight running towards the motorcycle, and I told you that story, and now we get the Queen of Swords. So what does that mean? That means she holds the truth. And whether he has to take his motorcycle, his dirt bike, his hitchhike, his bus, his Lamborghini, his airplane, he's going towards the Queen of Truth, because that's all that matters anymore. You know, how many of you out there don't even care about money, a job, a house, a career anymore? You just want your twin flame. You just want love. Okay? 2222 on the clock was just there. You know, this reading here is a little longer, but I think it's really important. Okay. And Hugh, I don't appreciate you asking me to flash you, because that's not this kind of channel. So if you can please go to a different channel, please, or stop the dirty talking, because we don't do that on this channel. Okay. So yeah, so back to the Queen of Swords. We only want the truth. Okay? If you're going to be a low vibe like Hugh, then all that's doing is it's bringing everybody down, because they're seeing your comment and then they might not be listening to me. So you're just a distraction is all you are. Okay? You can admire my body and keep it to yourself, but you don't need to be posting pornography on my channel. Thank you. Okay, so the Queen of Swords is all about truth. I've said that about 4 times. When I was talking about the career thing, I was saying, how many of you out there would just love to have somebody that you can wake up in the morning, maybe cook breakfast for, go to the park, maybe take the dog for a walk, or take the bird for an outside stroll, and, you know, just do things that don't pertain to, okay, honey, I'm going to go to work now, goodbye, and then see her at the end of the night. Okay? That's see, Hugh is totally distracting everything, because now instead of him just leaving, he says, pop them out and I will leave. Do you see how narcissistic he is? He's only thinking of himself. That's all he wants to do. And he wants to stop you from getting a good message. So let's boo him out. Okay? Bye-bye. There's many other channels you can go to, Hugh. Okay? All right. So how many of you would just like to find your Queen of Swords and just spend the day doing stuff fun? Okay, that's the kind of energy we want. We're really sick of this matrix life. And unfortunately, you know, we have a lot of addictions to still get over, especially like Hugh asking me to show my breast on this YouTube channel. Like, how stupid is that? Anyway, so get busy. Page of Swords. We want to get busy, get busy, get busy. All right. Finding the truth, pointing the truth out, talking the truth, telling everybody the truth, everything about truth. You notice how all these cards were like swords? Okay. We had Page of Pentacles, Four of Swords, King of Swords, Eight of Cups, Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, Page of Swords. Okay, so we're going to stop there because it's all about swords. And on the bottom of the deck here is a Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords was under the Four of Pentacles, saying you are going to have to make a decision. Do you want to be low vibe and hang out with Hugh? Or do you want to be high vibe and hang out with me? Okay? Or your twin flame or your soul family. So you're going to have to make that choice. I'm going to guarantee you that today, for those of you going to work, you're going to have people hitting on you. You're going to have people being just like you, okay? Then you're going to have people that are wanting your spirituality, wanting your energy. Then you're going to have people that are going to be wanting your money. You have a cigarette. You have a cigarette. You know, you have money for a soda. You know, it's like all day long you have these energy vampires sucking on you, right? Flick them off. I wouldn't even gave Hugh the time of day, but I told you that sometimes these comments, they fit right into the story. So sometimes I mention them because it's just to show you, you know, it's just to show you that he's not just a troll. He's not just an evil person. You know, he's not just a negative person. He's just a sick person trying to get well. He has an addiction. Okay, that's the matrix. The matrix keeps us stuck in our addictions. Whether it's smoking, drinking, eating, it can be so many different things. You know, you can have addiction to YouTube. Anything out of balance. Take the 7 deadly sins, and anything out of balance has to be brought into balance. So thank you guys for listening. Little longer one today. There's a big decision coming up. That's what I'm hearing before I close. There's a big decision coming up, and I mean big. I don't mean little. There was confirmation. Did you hear it? It's a big decision coming up, and you're going to have to decide whether you want to go this way or this way. And the only thing the universe is saying is know your worth. Do not settle for anything under 100%. You have to know your worth. Okay? So thank you for listening. I am Miss Mystic.